WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 11.
Canada and Mexico made promises to the White House to delay big new tariffs on imported goods. It's our top story at 11. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer.
And I'm Sherry Jones. Phone conversations between President Donald Trump and the presidents of both Canada and Mexico led to the tariffs on those countries being delayed until March.
Erica Brown has the details on what Canada and Mexico promised to put off those tariffs.
President Trump says his threats of imposing tariffs on the U.S.'s closest neighbors are having desired results.
So let me tell you, in all cases, they all want to make deals. There's nobody that doesn't want to make deals. They've been abusers, and they want to make deals.
The White House confirms a 30-day pause for 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada following calls between the president and the leaders of both nations. Late Monday afternoon, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau pledged to strengthen security at the northern border in exchange for the pause. Earlier, Mexico pledged to ramp up security at the southern border.
They've agreed to put in 10,000 soldiers permanently, like forever, 10,000 soldiers at their side of the border and stop fentanyl and illegal aliens from coming into our country.
Across the country, businesses like this food co-op in Kalamazoo, Michigan, nervously braced for the tariffs' impact.
Canada, especially tomatoes and mushrooms. Mexico, same thing. Avocados are going to go up through the roof.
This shopper feels the tariffs are a quick way for the U.S. to make enemies.
I think it's a mean-spirited method of getting people to do what you want.
CBS News has learned USAID, which delivers funds overseas to fight starvation and disease, will be folded into the State Department with significant cuts in its workforce and the amount of aid it distributes. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says he's now the agency's acting administrator. On Monday, entry to the agency's Washington, D.C. headquarters was blocked. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
And staying with politics, Democrats in the state Senate have filed a lawsuit against Republican leaders in the state House.
They claim the GOP is using its control of the chamber to block the implementation of bills that have already passed.
Now, the last session of the state legislature went late into December and included the passage of 9 bills, some with bipartisan support. They cover things like art museums, retirement for corrections officers, and health care costs for teachers. But those bills originated in the state House, so sending them to the governor for finalization is the House's responsibility. State Senate Democrats argue and allege that the new Republican leadership in the state House is refusing to do that. Last month, when plans for this lawsuit were first announced, Speaker Matt Hall said he was consulting with legal experts before taking action on those bills.
A Hillsdale County man has been sentenced to more than 4 months in jail for threatening a former prosecutor on Facebook. 30-year-old Paul Hawkins is already locked up at the Cotton Correctional Facility. He was found guilty last month of malicious use of a telecommunications service and using a computer to commit a crime. He was ordered on Friday to serve 133 days behind bars. Prosecutors say Hawkins posted the threatening messages on the Hillsdale City Police Department's Facebook page.
Well, the Michigan DNR says it's received numerous reports of sick and dead geese in places like Owasso, Williamston, Ann Arbor, and Allegan County. But the department also says it just doesn't have the resources to test every bird that gets reported for bird flu. Regardless, experts still want people to report those dead birds so they can keep track of any sightings. Well, winter weather limits the availability of open water, which brings geese together in large groups, creating the conditions for a resurgence of bird flu. You can use the DNR's Eyes in the Field app to report diseased wildlife, including birds, but people are urged to stay away from any sick or dead birds they find.
Michigan State University is getting ready to commemorate 2 years since the deadly mass shooting on campus. 3 students were killed and 5 others injured. Next week, Thursday, February 13th, school officials say for most students, no classes will be held, no assignments will be due, and exams will not take place. The school is also planning to honor those lost, injured, and impacted by offering options for service, community engagement and community art, and supportive resources, including comfort dogs, free luminary kits, a moment of silence, the ringing of the Beaumont Tower bells, and much more.
Recovery efforts are still underway in Washington, D.C. after the mid-air collision that killed 67 people last week.
Today, cranes were seen on the Potomac River pulling wreckage from the water. Maddie Biertemple has the latest on that effort and the investigation.
Crews began lifting the wreckage from the Potomac River Monday morning.
Today was a very successful day for the most part.
U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Colonel Francis Para says authorities recovered parts of the American Airlines jet that collided with an Army helicopter last week and left 67 people dead.
Those were our goals for today, the fuselage, the engine, and the wing.
Para says the operations Tuesday will focus on the cockpit. The number of victims identified is still at 55, according to D.C. Fire Assistant Chief Gary Steen. He says they recovered more remains today.
These remains, as well as remains that have been recovered previously, are in the process of being positively identified.
Steen says he believes the remaining victims are in the wreckage.
This is tragic.
The recovery efforts come after families of the victims visited the crash site Sunday near Reagan National Airport. The National Transportation Safety Board is leading the investigation into what caused the collision. Some of the questions deal with how high the helicopter was flying. Army Colonel Mark Ott says to let the investigation play out.
It's important for us to not speculate.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is assuring Americans on Fox News Sunday it's still safe to fly.
We have the safest skies in the whole world.
Duffy said he plans to visit the site today. In Washington, I'm Maddie Beertemple.
Back here at home, Delta Dental is providing $300,000 to support dental health in Michigan kids.
That donation is being made in honor of National Children's Dental Health Month.
The Michigan Health Department will use this new funding to support what's called the SEAL program. It provides dental health screenings to children as well as community water fluoridation programs. Adding small amounts of fluoride to municipal water systems is a cost-effective way to help strengthen teeth and reduce cavities by up to 25% in both children and adults.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Quiet weather across the area this evening. All the fog is basically lifted, leaving us with good driving weather for the overnight hours. Doppler radar, of course, clear. We did have some patchy drizzle, little freezing drizzle out there earlier this evening. As we expand the view, still plenty of clouds around, although off to our northwest, some breaks in those clouds showing up, and still a few snow showers in the UP. So we check out Precision Cast. We've got some active weather coming over the next several days. First system not even on the map by tomorrow morning. We've got an area of high pressure that's just going to temporarily build in and kind of lay the groundwork for some frozen precipitation as we head into Wednesday night. Here goes this high. It'll quickly start to zip east as we move into Wednesday morning and into Wednesday afternoon. Maybe a couple snow showers developing, and as I'm looking at all the new data coming in tonight, it looks a little bit more like a sleet situation or maybe some snow here in central mid-Michigan. The better chance for freezing rain may be a little bit closer to the state line, maybe around the Jackson area. We've got to watch that very closely because obviously any light freezing rain can create quite a few problems. Cold fronts to our west on Thursday morning. I think driving-wise it still could be a little bit slippery, but things should improve as we move into Thursday afternoon. Total ice accumulation, if we do see freezing rain, we're talking about a trace to a tenth of an inch, so this certainly doesn't constitute an ice storm, but on area roadways it could make driving a little bit tough. And as I said, hopefully this will fall more in the form of sleet and a little bit of snow in central mid-Michigan, but we will have to watch that very, very closely. Temperatures out tonight, 31 Lansing, St. John still 32 degrees. Everyone basically very close to the freezing mark. Skyview Network, you can still see some of the low cloudiness on the McLaren cam, but visibility looks good. Temperatures 32 degrees. Our total rainfall today, 7/107 inch. Tonight in Grand Ledge, other than some cloud cover, not bad, 31, fairly mild for this time of the year and time of the night. 207 inch of rainfall today. This evening in Jackson, we've got cloudy skies and a temperature of 31. High though, up to 45 today on the mild side. Sure felt nice. Finally in Hillsdale, warm temperatures this afternoon as well with a high of 47 degrees. Current temperature in the low down to 32 and our rainfall total 307 inch. For tonight then we'll see mostly cloudy skies and a low temperature dropping to near 21 degrees. As we head into your Tuesday, we'll see mostly cloudy skies or even cloudy skies. 21 at 7, 25 at noon, 28 at 4, 24 at 9. A lot of 20s on that graphic. 20-something's our lucky number tomorrow. Our 6-day forecast on Wednesday. Wintry mix develops probably after you get home, so after drive time, probably 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Temperatures will fall into the mid-20s. Morning wintry mix, including some sleet or freezing rain and maybe a little snow. Temperatures in the upper 20s. Friday system could bring some light snow to the area Saturday into Saturday night and early Sunday morning. Next week, things look fairly quiet until Wednesday and Thursday, just a few snow showers. And then for Valentine's Day, temperatures should be near 30 and dry weather.
Okay, well, that's good at least.
Yeah, we got a lot of Super Bowl parties Sunday night, so I was looking at that Monday morning kind of, it doesn't look bad.
No, I think we're okay.
All right, thanks, David.
Well, we here at TV6 are getting ready to celebrate the 75th anniversary of WLS-TV this year, and we could use your help.
So if you hung out with Alley Cat or cut a rug on Swing Lively, or you know someone who met Martha Dixon, well, please let us know.
And if you have any pictures or videos from back in the day, please head over to WLNS.com/75. That's where we've set up a folder for you to upload your memories.
And we would love to use them on air. And if you're willing to talk about it to us, just let us know in the comments and we may be in touch. So we're going to kick things off around our birthday sometime in May. Well, coming up on 6 News at 11, an oil industry executive has now been confirmed as the new Secretary of Energy. We'll introduce you to Chris Wright after the break.
Stay with us, that and more still to come.